Hello and welcome to another episode of Tales from a Professional Nerd. My name is Bryan Steele and I will be your nerd today and any other day that you watch one of my silly little shows. So today's going to be a quick one. We're going to get the Week in Bryan in, which is relatively fast because I've been just busy. And then I've got a fun little stopgap, but we'll get to the reason why in a moment. You clicked on the thumbnail, you kind of know what's going on already. So Week in Bryan. It's been a crazy week, a good week. So I am fully past all of the COVID stuff. I still have a little bit of a nagging cough, but they say that the whole COVID thing lingers and sticks around with you for a little while. So I'm sure I'll be regenerating that damage, given some time. Game wise, I did get a chance to the Curse of Strahd game got postponed yet again. I don't think we're playing that for several weeks, honestly. We did get a chance to play the Waking Realms game that I play, the homebrew game where I'm the Capoeira Cat Monk, and the fight went relatively well. We were continuing a fight with a bunch of vampires, and after kind of pulling all of our resources back and shoring up and healing a bunch of damage and stuff, we were able to deal with the threat at hand. However, we are still kind of mid-chase toward the bad guy, so no real time for rests, no time to to take advantage of all that stuff that people say that makes 5e so easy for the players. So we'll see where the next session takes us, because I know we're still running after the bad guy, and most of our daily character assets, our per rest assets, have been used. So we'll see. I am hoping, not to be all doom and gloom. I am hoping that this fight, that the DM does not take it easy on us and finds a way for us to squeeze in a rest, because that's the whole point of 5e, is managing your character assets. And we blew through them in this really, really tough fight, and either we stop and rest, and then we have to kind of reinitiate the chase, or we keep the momentum, we keep the pressure up, we don't let her get dug in, but then we have spent most of our stuff. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I got to play the first ever fully painted, fully Res Nova miniature game of Warzone Eternal for a battle report up at Thunderforged Studios up in Michigan. They filmed our Kickstarter our Kickstarter battle report, kind of the thing that shows off how the game is played. I'm very happy with how it turned out. The video itself is currently in editing and layout and all this stuff, because Rick over at Thunderforge is very professional and is going to do a bunch of cool effects and things in the video. After I show it to after it gets attached and shown to the Kickstarter backers, I will probably use it as as one of the episodes here. So it will probably be showing up here at some point. But obviously we want to use it for the Kickstarter first, because that's why it was made. Speaking of Warzone Eternal, I have been I look over at my hobby area. I have been assembling some of the prototypes and hope to get some paint on them soon. So that way I'll maybe even have some cool stuff to show you guys during the Kickstarter, which I hope should happen. The Kickstarter, we know it's going to happen, but as far as the painting and stuff, it just depends on time. I do want to let you know that, so today's episode is not Warzone related. However, because we only have one more week, really, before one more episode before the Kickstarter takes off, after this one, Next week will probably be the first of the let's get prepped for the Warzone Kickstarter episode. And then during the Kickstarter, I'll probably try and focus quite a bit on Warzone here on the show, for obvious reasons. But I did want to go ahead and say that while this channel is going to be used to deliver a lot of information about the Kickstarter, keep in mind that this is still my channel and not Resnova's channel. Despite my being an employee of the company, they are not paying me to advertise. They are not paying me to, hype their stuff. Obviously, I'm going to because it's the game I designed. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that the feelings and the information that I give you is what I'm allowed to under NDAs and what I believe in. There may very well be some opinions that I give that you go, well, that seems weird that he would say that, but again, this is my channel vlog show thing. And while I will be using it to deliver a bunch of information about the Kickstarter, about the game, and more about the game going forward, I did still want to make sure that you are aware that it is my channel and not the Resnova channel. Okay. I don't know why you're gonna respond to me somehow. Although you should respond in the comments. Speaking of, let's go ahead and take a quick second to talk about comments. So, because some people, my channel has grown quite a bit with recent news and things, and you might not know this, but every month I do a comment raffle. Basically, I take every individual person who has commented on the videos within the month, and I put their names in a randomizer, and then it spits out someone's name, and they win a Bryan Steele prize package. Now, the prize package varies, depends on what I've got on hand, and it's sometimes things that have absolutely nothing to do with games that I work on. It's just stuff from here in the studio, things that I think viewers might appreciate, fans of general geekery and nerdism. That you'll get you get a package in the mail that says, hey, thanks for watching, and that's really all it is. It's just basically thanks for interacting with videos, thanks for sharing, thanks for subscribing, thanks for being part of this whole Tales from a Professional Nerd process. And I get to announce, because now this is the first episode in May, I get to announce the April comment raffle winner. So, after putting everything through the randomizer, we have Stephen Bonner, whose comment specifically from episode 139 is how they won this. So when this comes out, I will be reaching out to Stephen to get an address and send over a little care package of fun stuff from the studio. So I hope you enjoy. And also, congratulations, Steven. All right, so one quick thing. So I do want to say, because I have to, I always put the posts, the storyboards up for my sponsors, the people who have who supply me with things or stuff, because YouTube requires me to point out this thing. While I am trying to make this an official relationship, you will see me be drinking quite often from my Smuggler's coffee cup, like right now. They are a local brewery. No, not brewery. Local coffeery. People who make coffee. They make coffee beans, and I ran into these guys at GaryCon, and they were awesome. Then suddenly I came to discover that they are local to me. They're like 2 hours away. So while they are not they make gamer themed coffee, pop culture themed coffee. They even have like their own themed D20. It's cool. It's a very, very neat place called Smuggler's Coffee. And while I have to make sure that you know, I am trying to turn them into a sponsor of the show, specifically my caffeine sponsor, which I think is just a funny concept. I didn't. I wanted to make sure that you were aware that this is not a paid sponsorship at this time. So you should totally check them out on Facebook and all that stuff because they make cool stuff. But I didn't want people to see the coffee cup and go, "Uh-oh," name drop, name drop. Eventually, hopefully, there will be a name drop involved. But it is a work in progress, and because YouTube's got weird rules about sponsors and things, I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that. Hopefully, that news will change. But for now, still just I like their stuff. All right. Speaking of liking their stuff. Let's get into the meat of today's episode. You clicked on the thumbnail, so you know what it is. I'm doing an unboxing. So a while back, just after GaryCon, I pointed out, I mentioned a very cool product called Epic Encounters from Steamforged Games. Well, one of my close buddies in the industry works for Steamforged, and he and I were talking the other day, and I was mentioning how awesome I love their products, I love their stuff, and that they have a new Epic Adventures coming out, or Epic Encounters coming out very soon, and that if I could get my hands on that, I would love to do an unboxing to show my viewers how awesome these new kits are. While the response I got from him and Steamforged was, "Give me your address, we'll get you set up." And I was like, "Oh, fantastic! I'll get to do an unboxing." Well, I can't pick up the box to I might be able to. Let's try. So, the box I got is hefty. Ow. The comedy factor is that despite the fact that Steamforged sent me this really cool box to show you all these neat things, the new adventure is not in it. The new Epic Encounters is not in it. Apparently it got delayed or something along those lines. So maybe in the future there may be a tack-on moment where I show these things to you. But I did want to go ahead and take today, since we're ramping up to the Kickstarter for Warzone, and I know that's going to be a lot of Warzone heavy stuff over the next couple weeks. I still wanted to take the time out to thank Steamforged for sending this cool stuff and show you guys how cool this stuff is. When I opened the box, I was like, "This is crazy! It's a bunch of great stuff." It is a bunch of great stuff, and it's also something. There's one. I'm gonna go through the Epic Encounter stuff first. And then there's another set of stuff that Steamforged sent over that I have never opened, I've never looked at. So we're going to kind of get to be introduced to that together. So let's take a look first. All right. So we have lots of bubble wrap. So let's move the bubble wrap out of the way. And then there are 4 Epic Encounters boxes here. One of which... or 2 of which are completely are separate because they are a linked set, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And then there's the other 2. All right, so excuse my cough. Let me get. Do I have my knife? I do have my knife. All right, so we are going to take my knife to open up the first of the Epic Encounter boxes to show you the Village of the Goblin Chief. Initially I read that as Village of the Goblin Chef, which is still kind of a cool idea for an adventure. Makes me laugh anyway. Let's get the shrink wrap off of here. Throw the shrink wrap in the box. Actually, you know what? Before I open that box, I'm going to get the rest of the stuff out. I'm not going to show it to you yet because that's going to be the stuff that we're really going to take some time to look at. But I want to get it out because I'm throwing the trash back in this box. I don't want to accidentally screw up and throw away something that I'm not supposed to. All right. Sorry about being off camera there. I know it's super unprofessional. And even though I am the professional nerd, occasionally I do things that are not professional. All right. So yeah, let's get back to this Village of the Goblin Chief. All right. So, as I've said before, the Epic Encounters boxes are these cool sort of completely encompassed encounters, like a mini adventure. So there's just this little mini adventure book in here. It talks about which models it comes with. Shows you, it's got some cool art and some neat background and things. But one of the things that I do like about this, having looked through one of these before, is yeah, it's got stats in here for some of the different critters, but one of the things that it does is that for the adventure part itself, things that are like skill checks or finding this trap or overcoming this damage or something like that, saving throws, they basically tell you if you're playing this at a starting level, use this difficulty number. If you're playing this at a slightly higher level, use this difficulty number. If you're playing it at this level, use this difficulty number. Like, it's got it set so you could, if you wanted to, run this at a much higher level, despite the fact that it's just a bunch of goblins. It's got some very cool kind of balanceability. And I again, I mentioned this before, I love these things. So in this kit, we also have the map. There's always a double-sided map, which looks like we have this cool kind of goblin summoning circle arena thing, you know, some just glow-in-the-dark mushrooms all around it. Very, very cool. And then the other side is... oh, it's like a treetop village, like a Ewok village kind of thing. So neat. Always love this kind of stuff. What else do we have in here? So now we also have miniatures. So there's a whole slew of minis in here. In fact, all right. Try not to make a whole bunch of noise into my microphone, but happens to the best of us. All right, is it tape on one side? Tape on one side. All right, so let's go ahead and open this up and show you some cool things. All right, so first things first, we have 3 of these adorable little goblin, what are these? What are they calling them? Specifically, they are calling them, there are 6 of these guys. They are Bloodwood goblins. How cute is this guy? There's 3 of them that look like that. There's 3 of them that have little short bows. And then there are 3 of them that are sword and shield. And they are, you know, I call them cute, and you can't really see. I'm going to see if I can't get close enough for you to get a good look. No, it's not going to do it. They are goblins, but they're almost like gremlins from the movie Gremlin. You know, big wide ears, like kind of muzzly faces. They're very cool. I think they're very, very neat. So there's 6 of those. There are 4 Bloodwood goblin frog chewers. They've got these weird little spears, but then on the other hand, there's actually a poison frog that I'm assuming, I haven't looked through the stats, they just opened this box, but I assume that they probably eat these frogs. Oh, he's got a frog in his head. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. Ah, man, that bugs me. I need to get a better camera, I think. You guys want to buy me a camera? My P.O.Box is in the thing. Alright. But he's wearing a little frog in his head. So I'm assuming as a goblin chewer, they probably get poison or something. And then there are 4 Blood Dart Goblin Enforcers. These guys look a little bigger. They're still at the same height, but they've got big two-handed axe-looking things, and they are seem like much more muscled, tougher. They got bow and arrow on their back. So these guys probably look like they're more like the elite warriors of the tribe. And then what do we got here? Up in the top, we have the Bloodwood Goblin Hetman, which this is probably one of my favorite minis I've seen come out of this. So it's a little, like a goblin witch doctor who's wearing a bark mask. Can I get it to focus in on him? It is not gonna. Okay. He's got like this little, kind of like a bark witch doctor mask, and then he's got this giant, just head full of almost like Rastafarian style dreadlocks that go all the way around and like go into his beard. Like he's got like a beard of dreadlocks, and it's awesome. He's a super cool model. I will eventually get around to painting this guy because I love, and he's got these huge ears that are fully just like decked out with earrings and things. I love it. I absolutely love it. And he's got so he's got a staff behind his back, and the staff on one side looks like it's got kind of like a Apache sculling mace, like it's got like a Native American sculling mace on it. But then the other side, it has a little hollowed out skull, little hollowed out skull pot. And I would love to put some like liquid effects or resin effects or something like that in that skull. So yeah, he'll get painted eventually. And then aside from there, we have 4. These guys are adorable. And what's funny is for my family D&D game that hasn't run in a long time because scheduling with 2 teens is arduous. Is we've got green. Nope, sorry. What are you called? Bloodwood Goblin mounted on an arrow-tongued tree frog, and it's their frog cavalry. So it's got like basically a little goblin bowman sitting on the back of this tree frog, but the tree frog has like leaf and wood barding. It's got armor. It's very, very cool. Let's see if I can get close enough to see this cute little fella. So focus. Yeah, it's not going to do it. Ribbit. All right. And then the last model from this set is funny that it doesn't match the normal look from the creature, but I actually think it's cooler. Is a green Fang Flail Snail. So if you're familiar with some of the old D&D models, the Flail Snail is just a giant snail with multiple flails for a head. That's all it is. This is similar to that. It's got a big head with a very fangy looking mouth in the front, and then it's kind of surrounded on all sides by these tentacles that instead of having grown and like evolved to have these big knobby mace heads, each one of these tentacles is carrying a rock, so it's made its own flails rather than like evolving into a flail. And I dig that idea. That's such a cool idea. All right, so that is the Goblin. Get in there, goblins. That is the set for the Village of the Goblin Chief. Now I do know that the Village of the Goblin Chief, so all these epic encounters boxes, the like multitudes, they also have a boss fight that's attached to it. That we're going to open up our first boss here in a second. The boss for this, I believe, is like a swamp hydra. I don't have that. It didn't come in the box. Or didn't come in the Steamforged shipment, so I will hopefully get my hands on that in the future, which will be cool. But so I mentioned that I showed you before the was it the shrine of the Kobold Queen? Well, this is the Lair of the Red Dragon, which is the boss fight that goes along with. That follows suit with, let's say that, because you can obviously do the Shrine of the Kobold Queen as a standalone encounter, and you could do this Red Dragon as a standalone encounter. But I get the impression that this is designed, because you read in the back, it's cutting, box includes, designed to work with the 5th edition of the world's favorite role-playing game. This set gives any game master tools to create a cinematic experience that will challenge and excite their players. And so it's all you need. Oh, here we go. Little note at the bottom. Inside this box is everything you need to run a truly epic encounter with a red dragon. Perfect for new and experienced players, Lair of the Red Dragon is packed with enough prompts, stats, and dragon knowledge to set your imagination spinning. Use this set as the finale to Shrine of the Kobold Queen, or create your own very thrilling dragon encounter. So it's designed specifically to just go ahead and insert anywhere you want to make a cool dragon encounter, or it links up with the Shrine of the Kobold Queen, which is also very cool. And so in here, we have, again, a cool booklet that will probably discuss how this works. It's got all, so I'm already looking here, summon minions, magma eruption, tremors, So it's got all these different things on how to make this adventure cooler. There's a whole page of little bits of information, which I think is very cool. It's got a little like little, what do your player characters know about dragons? Depending on what they have, here's some cool little stat informations. What have the player characters why the player characters have arrived here at this place at this time? Choose one of these adventure hooks and weave them into your adventure. This is such a great idea. I love these things. And then we have the map, which again, love the fact that there's maps involved. I love maps. So we have, in this particular map, looks like we have a magma cave. There's a big pool in the middle there, and then on the other side, more magma stuff, but it's got the beginning of a cave. So it's got like the opening to this area. Very, very cool. These are little things that I love about this product. And then on this, this particular thing also came with a punch card set that has two, basically 10 foot by 10 foot square lava pools that you can add to anywhere you want. And then it's got a whole bunch of little kobold counters for, let's say, for instance, I mentioned that there was rules in there for the dragon summoning kobold minions. Let's say that you didn't have the Shrine of the Kobold Queen, so you don't have those models. They gave you these little firebrand kobold counters for you to throw on the table just in case if it doesn't work out. And then the meat of this thing, we have, if I can get it open, let's get it open. Oh my gosh. All right. We have a dragon. Now, mind you, I'm gonna get him back in this box. Actually, I'm not gonna put him back that way. So we have, let's get his wings. They look like they're just push fit, so hopefully it's not gonna stab me or require gluing. I don't think it will. All right, I'm just gonna. I'm gonna throw it on the floor. Is all I'm gonna do. So there's a peg that looks like these are going to be probably, maybe even, I don't think they'll need to be filed down, but I'm probably going to need to put a lot of pressure to snap them in, but I can at least get it in here so you can see how big and wonderful this dude is. So check this guy out. I mean, yeah, he's not painted, but yeah, he's huge and he's awesome, and that is a very cool dragon. Yeah, I dig this. All right, so the Lair of the Red Dragon boss kit. How cool is that? Now, we showed you the goblins. I showed you the Lair of the Red Dragon. Now I get to show you the connection between the two, or the I shouldn't say the connection. Another set. So we have the Arena of the Undead Horde, and its attached boss, the Tower of the Lich Empress. So let's go ahead and pop open the arena, and we will take a look. Now, a little bit of background. So this arena is actually the epic encounter that my wife, Natalie, got to play in at GaryCon, and she told me how amazing it was. So I will hopefully get to run this sometime. Got the adventure kit again. It's got rules for training dummies, a weapon rack, portcullis. There's all kinds of cool stuff. Rules for cool. So because this is based on a haunted arena that has a bunch of bad guys, we have the crowd. Adventurers are unable to forget their role as entertainers for this vast crowd. So there's the ghostly people who are watching this arena. There's a role to see what happens to see what they do, from anywhere from Blood Frenzy, where the spirits grab players and do stuff to them, all the way to A Gift from a Fan. A strange blue light flickers along the steel of the player character's blade from where a ghostly spectator reaches out to touch it. For the remainder of the encounter, the player character's attacks deal an additional D4 damage. So just a neat little narrative bonuses. The map. Let's take a look at the map for this. I'm going to assume it's the arena. So we have the this is the training center. It's like this is like the Ludus, where the guys will be training, and then on the other side is the arena itself. Very cool. Man, see, I love these things. Let's take a look at the models, because I know that's what you guys want to see. I know it's what I want to see too. Alright, so models. This one's taped on the side. Come on, Steamforged, changing where your tape goes, throw me off. Again, not a big deal. I'm just playing. Alright, get off my finger. Alright, so what do we have here? We have, again, a lot of models for what we are being given. Why is this not coming? Is it snapped together? How does this work? I feel like I'm missing something. This is gonna come apart like an old school perfection. There we go. All right. So we have 2 Iron Skull Leonites, which are skeletal lions. Very cool. We have 6 skeleton archers, Iron Skull skeleton archers. Apparently, Iron Skull is like the name of this brand of undead. Very cool. Just a skeleton archer wearing like a cloak. There's 6 of those. There are 4 Iron Skull duelists, who are just warriors with a sword. We have 2 Iron Skull knights, which are armored with a big great axe. That's cool. 2. Oh no, those. Oh, I'm sorry. Those are not the Iron Skull Knights. Those are the Iron Skull Executioners. The Iron Skull Knights have got maces lifted up over their heads. You know, still armored, still cool. Then we have 2 Iron Skull Death Riders, which are. See, these are pretty cool. They are modified skeletal centaurs. So I don't know if it's like a bone golem, like somebody put this together, or if it's actually like a centaur that was risen and then given like that kind of creepy, demon skull looking thing or whatever. But very cool. Fight with a scythe. Very, very cool. There's 2 of those. And then there are 2... come on, get in there. 2 Iron Skull Andabatas. I do not know what that means. I'm showing my ignorance. I have absolutely no idea what that word means. The Iron Skull Andabata looks like a giant or an ogre, maybe. Just a very big skeletal guy who has a staff with like a cup on the end that's filled with a pile of bones. So he's like gonna throw a projectile of bones, and then his backpack, he's got a sack filled with bones. I'm assuming is the ammo for his throwing of weirdness. Very cool. There's 2 of those as well. So that is the Arena of the Undead Horde worth of minis. That's cool. I'll get a chance to take a look at that. I'll hopefully get a chance to play that for somebody at some point. But then we also have... Don't fall. Okay. The boss for that. So, how do you kill what cannot die? Inside this box is everything you need to run a truly epic encounter with a Lich Empress. Perfect for new and experienced players, Tower of the Lich Empress is packed with enough prompt stats and Lich Empress knowledge to overtake your mind. Use this set as the finale to Arena of the Undead Horde, or create your very own undeath-defying Lich Empress encounter. So, let's get the shrink wrap off of here, which is giving me no amount of grief. Okay. Okay, here we go. So we have, like normal, adventure booklet, Tower of the Lich Empress. Again, things you might find with her, tactics, the reliquary factor. So, okay, so below is a table of ideas for the Lich's reliquary you can build into your game to make the hunt for the Lich's essence that more exciting. So it's basically a randomizer that shows you what the Lich's reliquary phylactery, what it is, and then they gave rules to what it might do magically. Very cool. We've got using the terrain, so different terrain for what the Lich Empress might be involving herself with. We have a library of scrolls. See, very cool. Just very, 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 very neat stuff. Different levels of... Oh, that's neat. So we have the Lich Baroness, and then we have the Lich Queen, and then we have the Lich Empress. So, like, there are different levels of how tough to make her. The map is one of the floors, like the entrance, because there's how to get into a tower, and then another way in or out of said tower. So just a neat set of floors. I like it. Another set of little... oh, okay. I get it. So here's another punch card of minions. This particular set of minions has 2 Iron Skull Death Riders, 3 Iron Skull Skeleton Duelists, 6 Iron Skull Skeleton Archers, and 1 Iron Skull Andavata. So, again, if you have the minis from Arena of the Undead Horde, you probably don't need to use these, but it's nice that they have already built in a kind of a fail-safe. Oh, you don't have this one, but you do have the boss. You can still use this stuff. I like that. Now to the miniature itself, and I say miniature, but this one's big, and this actually is miniatures. There's multiples here. We'll explain that in a minute. Now, my friend that works for Steamforged told me about this. Told me about how cool this bad guy is and why. And so I'm going to pull this up in a second. As soon as I get all the tape off of this, we'll show you how cool this is. Get off of my fingers. Okay. Come on. There we go. Alright, so what do we got? Plastic. So it comes with this very big base. This very big base that is almost, if you look at it closely, and I know it's got these like kind of stabby things, it almost kind of looks like it's a hand coming up out of the ground. So you could almost work that into your story that, like, she sits upon a throne held by the god of the underworld or something. And then she has herself that snaps in. All right. And she's just sitting on this little raised throne. It's creepy, almost Egyptian-themed, Mesopotamian. But then there's also these 4 little monsters. There's little flaming skulls that have spots on her base as well to kind of click in. They are designed, obviously, to be removed because they're just kind of pressure. They're not like, it's not like a snap fit like the queen herself. It's more like these little, like shallow holes to sit in. And so when they're all there, she's surrounded by these 4 flaming skulls. But what's cool about that, from what I was told, is that the flaming skulls are designed to like get up and leave leave her base and start flying around to start like flying around the map to go do stuff, and that depending on how tough of a version of her you're playing or whatever, that there is a good chance that she can use those little skulls as like areas to reform if she gets killed, and like it's again, sounds very cool, and I am always a big fan of interactive bosses that aren't just stand around and beat on them until they stop fighting back. So yeah, I'll be interested to see how that works out. So that is all of the epic encounter stuff. I wanted to go ahead and show you the other cool thing that Steamforged sent me. That I know almost nothing about, and that is the Animal Adventures RPG starter set. It says it's a spellbinding role-playing game for beginners. Now, I love the concept of role-playing games that are not so super deep and heavy and like painfully so, because depending on how old your kids are, depending on who's getting into the game. There's all kinds of ways to get into this and kind of get them to start thinking about how role-playing works without submitting them to, potentially, traumatic experiences of arrows flying and goblins dying. So it says, I'll read the back and then I'll open it up and take a look. Animal Adventures RPG Starter Set. Join intelligent cats and dogs on a spellbinding adventure. So in this game, you play cats and dogs. Created for beginners, this set is your gateway into the magical world of role-playing games. Inside is everything you need to play a thrilling RPG campaign with no experience needed. Explore exciting locations, face fearsome and fantastical beasts, and have fun. Set includes simple, easy-to-follow rules, 4 adorable dog miniatures, 3 cute cat miniatures, 7 character sheets, so the characters are already made for you, that's cool. A double-sided game map, game master screen, a set of illustrated tokens, and a set of dice. The heroes, it actually specifically has we have Chantilly, a Labrador fighter, Elvis, the Cavalier Bard, Brianna, Boxer Paladin, Kai, a Shibu Inu cleric, Solan, a Persian warlock, Whisper, Sphinx sorcerer, and Molly, the Lycoi rogue. So, and apparently there's an exclusive model inside of Chantilly, the Labrador fighter. All right. So here is what do we have? We have the Animal Adventure role-playing starter set, the rules and adventure book. That's always cool, so it's going to show you how to play. Similar to the Epic Encounters, we have a map, which is it, okay, that's how big it is. We have, it looks like, it's labeled. We have the mansion first floor over here. We have the mansion second floor over here. The forest has its own map, and then over here we have the sewers. So I'm assuming the adventures that they have in there are built around this. The RPG... Oh, these are great! So the RPG starter set itself, we've got a bunch of tokens, which are... We have Dr. Krankenstein, Goblin Nappers, Wrathbone, Zombie Rats, a Master Key. So there's a bunch of tokens to snap out, which is great. This is probably the cutest thing I've ever seen. This would be the Game Master screen that came with it. And because this is a fully encompassed kit, this is so cool. It has how the actions you've got, what the various tokens that came with the set are, and it's got a stat list for spells and abilities of the guys that came with here. So as a game master, you have everything you need to help build your adventures. Then we've got the character sheets themselves, which are just magazine paper style. We got Chantilly. It's got all kinds of It's honestly strength, dex, constitution. It is kind of a primer for 5e. It's very similar. Looks like we've got a couple of, like, this is the fighter who has dueling, a second wind, and dogged persistence. So like, it's modified 5e to be able to play these cats and dogs. I really kind of love this. I think it's pretty fantastic. And then in here, I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, I guess the whole thing does come out. Is it taped like everything else? It is. Alright, let's get that tape off of there. Tape on both sides, tape on both sides. Alright, so we have the dice. Okay, so it is just a regular set of like D&D style role-playing dice that have a D4, a D6, a D8, a D10, well, 2D10 for percentiles, a D12, and then 2D20 for, I'm assuming, for advantage and disadvantage rolling. But all of the highest numbers are paw prints. That's cute. And then it comes with little adorable, let's get that Chantilly out, little adorable adventure dogs and cats. Where's that Shiba Inu? Bark, 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 bark. Okay, how freaking cute is that? And they're very well done. They're super well sculpted. They seem to be made of like a hard plastic. Like not even like board game plastic, like one step harder than that. So I am very impressed with that main set. And I do think that it is the kind of thing that you could easily give this to a starting out role player, someone who's just kind of getting into it, maybe somebody who's played D&D a couple times but isn't quite so sure about running their own game. I would almost consider this like a cute GM's present, like here, you want to be your first GM, rock and roll. So that's the Animal Adventures. And then Steamforged sent me 4 very cool expansions. So these are character expansions. These are the Animal Adventures of Cats and Catacombs. Oh wait, Volume 2. Hang on, there's Volume 2, Volume 1. Here we go. The Questing Tooth. So there's Adventurers Unleashed, Volume 1 and 2. And then there's also Questing Tooth and Claw, Volume 1 and 2. Let's do this in order. So Questing Tooth and Claw, Volume 1 is Cats and Catacombs, is the name of that series. Trying not to cut myself. And it's got 6 characters in it that, of course, come with 6 little miniatures. So what is this supposed to be? Oh, the tales you'll tell. Make your role-playing games perfect with Cats and Catacombs Volume 1, containing Hesta the Abyssian Wizard. Inside the box, you'll find 6 finely detailed, pre-assembled PVC miniatures, PVC, ready to paint or play. Each one is a different breed and has been given a fantasy class. They're lovingly designed and just bursting with character. Whether it's adventurous Hesta, secretive Molly, independent Brooke, ferocious Paucus, knowledgeable Whisper, or deadly Cleo, these cats are compatible with any tabletop RPG as companions or player characters. Now, they're ready to set out on a new quest. Where will you whisk them away to? Okay, so these aren't, or at least they seem to be just a miniature set that you could use. And this one's got a bunch of cats of different kinds that are all like decked out to be... Oh, that is a lot of glare. I should try and take the lid off first. So they're decked out to be, like, you could use them as like a familiar, or if you were maybe running more of that Animal Adventures game, you could make stats for them, probably using D&D 5e as a guideline. Or for all I know, maybe Steamforged on their website. Maybe they've got some stat blocks for these guys. Maybe, I don't know. But here, let's take a look. Here we've got this. There's a cat in a cloak with a staff and a bird. It's like maybe that could be a cool wizard cat. We have one that's wearing a bunch of like armor and has got that. I know you're not going to see. He's got a battle axe on his side. He's got a battle axe on his side, and he's got his like hackles all raised up. He's almost like a bobcat. Very, very cool. These are just they're cute, and they're very well done. Like whoever Steamforged is getting to just sculpt their stuff, it is very quality. Like their sculptors are very talented. So I'm gonna take a look. We have that's oh, I put it in upside down. The Questing Tooth and Claw, Volume 2. Is it just more miniatures? Yes. In this one, rather than... I'm going to open it up, but rather than trying to show everything, we've got Sonia, a Maine Coon fighter, Han, the Dragon Lee monk, Indy, Ragdoll Bard, Solan, a Persian warlock. Wait, wasn't Solan in the first set? Oh, okay, so some of these are redos as to what come in the main set. Okay, so I didn't know that. Solan, and it is the same model. Verdandi, the Norwegian Forest Druid, and Barnabas, the Korat Paladin. And then from the first set, it looks like we have Whisper and Molly that were in the main set. So that's something to keep in mind. I didn't know that. So these, if you just wanted the cat and dog miniatures, you get these little boxes if you don't care about the stats and like kind of having the starter set aspect of things. So there's that. And now we've got Adventurers Unleashed Volume 1. From the main set, we have... Oh, do we have anybody from the main set? No. Okay, so that's good to know. The Dungeons and Doggies Adventures Unleashed Volume 1 is all new critters. So 100% new. Nobody's in the starter set. And I kind of love... There are two of these that I think I love a lot more than I probably should. We have... I'll get it open here and show you. If I can. There we go. So, and who are they? We have Cerise, the St. Bernard Cleric, who's a very big doggy miniature, and it's just covered in pouches and little containers and bottles, and it's got the stereotypical like bottle of rum. I think it's rum that's at their throat. But then there's also the opposite. We have Tedric, the Chihuahua Rogue, who is this tiny little dude with like I don't think it's a knife. I think it's a lockpick in its mouth, which is perfect. I love it. And then also besides those two, there is Cornelius, the Golden Retriever Wizard, Svetlana, the Beagle Barbarian, Morgaine, the Dachshund Sorcerer, and Flint, the Blue Heel Ranger. So that's just kind of a neat set of minis. I dig them. And now the last one that I've gotten, and the last thing from this unboxing, is the Dungeons and Doggies Adventures Unleashed Volume 2, which is 6 more dogs. And let's see if any of them are from the starter set. We have... No! Alright, cool. So, this is the Dungeons and Doggies one is also... We have Montague, a Cocker Spaniel Bard, Nightingale, a Pomeranian Monk, Tobias, a Corgi Warlock, Freya, German Shepherd Druid, Hartley, a French bulldog fighter, and Cassandra, a husky paladin. So, how cool are these? Again, I am yeah, obviously I'm a big cat and dog fan. You guys have met some of my animals by accident on here. I love the idea. Yeah, the miniature sets are cool and I dig them, but this is worth its weight in gold. I love the idea of giving this to someone a younger role player, someone who's getting started, that wants to really kind of dip their toes in the pool and start trying to GM and run for their friends, especially in a way that they're not going to have questionable content. They're going to have dogs and cats fighting against goblins and stuff. I love it. I think it's great. I think Steamforged does really, really cool stuff. So thank you to Steamforged for sending me these things to unbox and hopefully get you guys to go check them out. I'll put the link to their website in the description of this video. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say, because I like to pass the love, I'm going to go ahead and say that some of these things are probably going to end up in the May comment raffle. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment below to get part of that raffle for May. And, pay attention to what's going on with myself and the Kickstarter. Business as usual. You know how it goes. I just want you guys to be stay safe, get boosted, get vaccinated. Obviously, in the other order. Wear your mask if you're in a place where you think you need to, or where they're asking you to. Don't be one of those people that are like, I'm not masking up. If they ask you to, just be cordial. Everybody's got to live through this, hopefully. In the meantime, pay attention to my socials about all cool stuff that's happening. But do me a favor, smile, have a good time, and play some games. We will see you next week to start off the kind of Warzone spectaculars. So, see you then.